I think they enjoy what they're doing, but they're not just doing it for fun. I think there's an aspect of music that's meditative, introspective, and spiritual in other people's lives.
During the 70s, music had changed, and people were increasingly seduced by the rhythm of Western pop music. At that time, young Nusrat, who had received a traditional Qawwali education, had to explore new ways to communicate his classical art to a modern audience. Nusrat's combination of skill and musical sensibility gave life to a unique sound, a blend of old and new, which was to become the international hallmark of Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan.
Qawwali music was already popular in India and Pakistan, but the first time they really heard it in the West was in 1983 in Colchester, England, where people really began to take notice. And after that, Peter Gabriel introduced me to the Western world.
In the 80s, his music was released internationally. He also began various collaborations with artists from around the world. He recorded songs for the soundtrack of Martin Scorsese's Last Temptation of Christ, Oliver Stone's Natural Born Killers, Shekhar Kapoor's Bandit Queen, and Tim Robbins' Dead Man Walking.
And then came the Natural Born Killers soundtrack. However, I made one or two mistakes there. Without my consent or any consultation, they used my songs in one or two sequences that I did not approve of. This kind of thing can tarnish the image of Sufi music.
There was this whole kind of a bit of a controversy over the use of Nusrat's music in Natural Born Killers. And I think he felt that it was an inappropriate use of his music. But I feel bad because a little bit Peter Gabriel got the blame for it. And it was clearly a breakdown in communication because I happened to be in the room when Peter said to Nusrat, "Are you interested in doing some recording for this film?" And Nusrat said yes. And Peter said, "Well, I think maybe you should see it first because it's quite a violent film and you may not feel comfortable about having your music in." And Nusrat said, "No, it's okay. If you think it's okay, then I'm happy to do it." Maybe Nusrat was trying to be polite, or maybe he couldn't have imagined what the film would be like. Yeah, I'm sure it would be quite hard, and didn't really realize that it would be as violent as it was.
Nusrat's departure from old traditions in search of new soundscapes provoked harsh reactions from some critics who felt Nusrat should be condemned for taking his experiments with Cavalli to the rank of cheap commercialization. In the 90s, Massive Attack produced a groundbreaking remix of Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan's devotional song, Must Must. And his work with Michael Brook blazed a trail of East and West collaborations.
There's a general concern in the Muslim world that in the West they are regarded as all being violent fanatics, and this is a bad prejudice, and an undeserved one, and I think that perhaps Nusrat felt he was furthering that cliche or that misconception by having overtly, Arabic, Muslim, I don't know what the right word for it is, I guess Muslim music being used in a scene of violence. And maybe he just was concerned that association was not a good one to try and develop.
I know that a lot of young musicians